Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Gran Turismo just released their January update 1.67, and with it comes 3 brand new vehicles. Now I already know there's a bunch of videos out there already. Some people are super quick on the release with these updates, talking about the cars, going over them and whatnot. But anyway, I decided to do my own spin on trying these cars, but on controller. A lot of these videos, they have these really nice setups. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little jealous. They're super awesome looking, and you know, I have played on Sim before. I love Sim. Unfortunately, I just don't have the money for a really nice one. So I figured there's a bunch of Gran Turismo players that still play on controller. So how do these new cars perform? How do they feel on controller? So first things first, we got to get the cars. That's what you're seeing in the background is me buying all 3 of the new cars, starting with the SU7 electric. Makes like, what was it, like 1600 horsepower or something insane like that. Weighs over 5,000 pounds, which is an absolute battleship of a weight for a car. Has huge ceramic brakes, which hopefully they do their job in slowing down this absolute behemoth. But anyway, moving on to the next car, which is a lot more interesting in my opinion, is the Hyundai Elantra NTC. This car, I'm gonna spoil it a little bit. This car was a lot of fun, honestly. 350 horsepower, 2,700 pounds. So very nice balance of power to weight, which makes sense considering that this is a dedicated race car build. If I'm not mistaken, I think this is like a GT4 category type car. To be completely honest, I'm not entirely familiar of the category that this car races in, but I know it's somewhere around there in like the GT4 to challenge car kind of category. So I was definitely looking forward to trying out this vehicle in particular. But the one that everybody and their mother have been raving about, and for good reason, is the Porsche 911 GT3 R992, mouthful there. This car, just looking at it, is gorgeous. But the question is though, does it perform as good as it looks? That's what we're going to test in this video. 557 horsepower, also 2,700 pounds. This is more of a GT3 Porsche Cup car category. And we're going to see if the abilities of this vehicle match up to what is supposed to represent. But with that being said, where are we going to test this car? Because obviously I want it to be as fair as possible. None of these cars will be upgraded. I am testing them straight out of the box, if you will. So literally bone stock, no upgrades, not even tires. I am testing it with just the tires that you get when you buy the vehicle. So where are we going to test these cars to where it's fair? We're going to go to Barcelona. I feel like Barcelona is a good track to test all 3 of these cars. It has some good straightaways. It has some very technical turns, tight turns, some very tight chicanes. So I feel like it has kind of everything to test a vehicle properly. So Barcelona, as you can see here, I'm setting up some of the rules, I guess you can say. I can't think of it off the top of my head, but we're gonna do 6 laps. We're gonna set some realism features here. We are gonna have realistic slipstream. We're gonna have boost on weak. As everyone knows, when it comes to the AI, having the boost on weak makes them even more competitive, which is nice. We are gonna have some tire and fuel wear, just to see how good these cars consume fuel, how they go about wearing tires and stuff like that. And everything else is kind of just going to be pretty random. I mean, the rest of these settings don't really matter. So we're going to do this update test, I guess. We'll have that as the title. I'm probably only going to use this once, but whatever. Anyway, so now with all that being said, let's get to testing the first vehicle. Excuse me. Okay, so just a quick disclaimer, the commentary I'm actually going to do secondary. I wanted to focus on the actual driving, considering that the cars were new and I had no idea about them. The controller footage is slightly desynced, but I tried to get it as close as possible. Anyway, when it comes to the SU7, just getting straight into it, I didn't like it. So far, I did not enjoy driving the SU7. It was very, very weird. It felt very weird on the controller. It felt like you could feel the weight, but it had no grip under it, no downforce whatsoever. It was super slidey. Obviously, it being electric, the acceleration was amazing, but tying that in with the lack of grip and the lack of downforce, obviously it's a slidey boy. So very quickly, didn't like it right out of the box. And again, I am only testing it out of the box. I'm fully confident that if you were to upgrade this car, if you were to tune it, you could probably get it to where it handles much nicer and it has much better grip and downforce, but that's not what we're testing. And for what we are testing, I didn't like it. However, I did somehow manage to get a 2 minute and 3 seconds lap time, which was surprising, because that wasn't even a good lap, because this happened. But anyway, on to the next car. Now the next car was the Honda Elantra. And Hyundai, excuse me, not Honda. And this car was a complete night and day difference from the SU7. This car was a blast to drive. It felt so good on controller. It was super confidence inspiring. It had a very nice amount of downforce, great traction, and it was just rowdy. I mean, this little 4-cylinder turbo, like, this thing just screams like crazy. So just off of sound, it was much more enjoyable to drive instead of just listening to the entire time. And honestly, it was very evident when driving against the AI as well, because the battle that I had with this AI was incredible. Literally from lap 1 to lap 6, they had some really good overtakes in between, which I will show on the screen. But yeah, complete night and day difference. This car was tremendous out the box. Honestly, this thing modified kind of scares me. Like, the idea of it kind of scares me. I can definitely see some people being very, very quick in this car. But I'm going to shut up for a second, and I'm going to let y'all just enjoy these few clips from testing this car. So as we come across the line, like I said, it was absolutely crazy testing this car against the AI. It made for an incredible battle, and we managed to get a 158. So we did go slightly faster than the SU7, thankfully, in my opinion, because that would have been really embarrassing. But the next car that we're going to test is, of course, the Porsche. And the Porsche, I'm going to be honest, it kind of gave me mixed feelings. So you can definitely feel that the car is very lightweight, which is kind of weird to say, considering that sometimes feeling the lightweightness of a race car isn't always good. Usually that's kind of said if the car, doesn't have great traction, or if it's too loose, which the Porsche can be too loose at certain moments. It's very weird. It's like there's certain corners where the car feels very well planted and has a lot of traction, and then there's other corners where it's the complete opposite. The car will feel like it's not getting enough downforce, and it becomes very tail happy, which is why I say that I'm very mixed about this car. As you can see here, I slid a lot coming out of that corner, even though I felt like I maybe shouldn't have, but I don't know, maybe that's just like a personal driver error, but I'm trying to hide it, but I don't know. It wasn't just for one lap though. All 6 laps, there were certain moments where I would where I would go through like a certain corner and I would have that happen. So I don't know, it's very weird. It's kind of hard for me to explain. Maybe with this car I needed more than 6 laps. Maybe 6 laps wasn't enough, but in those 6 laps I can definitely say that with a very minor amount of modifications and or tuning, because honestly you might not even need to modify the car. Maybe you just need to tune the downforce and maybe the weight ballast, which technically does actually require modification because you need to get the weight balance. And anyway, very slight tweaks in this car would be absolutely terrifying. This car is so fast, which you will see here towards the end when I finish this lap. This car is fast. There is no doubt about it. This is the fastest car of the update. That's no secret. But again, we're testing out of the box performance. And when it comes to that, this car surprisingly isn't the best in my opinion. Everybody has their own opinions. Obviously, a lot of people love this car out of the box. But in my opinion, it was just a tad too unpredictable out of the box for me to truly enjoy it. But it's a really good car. Like I said, literally the tiniest of tweaks, and this car will literally devour every server that you enter. I guarantee it. This car, I already know I'm probably going to get very annoyed with how much I see this car in servers here for these next few days to weeks for sure. But as for our tests, yeah, it was just lacking enough. But with all that being said, enough with the testing, and let's get to well, I kind of started already. Y'all could probably see where my ranking is already by the way I've been talking. But let's make it official. Let's finish up the testing. Let's head to the final verdict, and let's see where these cars rank and how I feel about them and what I think y'all should do if y'all buy them. And really quickly, one last thing before we do switch, but yes, of course, obviously, not surprising, this car got the fastest time out of all 3, and yeah, no surprise there. But anyway, first car, the SU7. How do I feel about it? Honestly, I would rate this thing a 2 out of 5. Really, all it has going for it is it's electric, it has extremely fast acceleration, but literally no surprise there. Every electric car is fast. The reason I scale it 2 out of 5, admittedly, I like how it looks. I think it looks kind of cool. What would I do if you do decide to buy this car? Obviously, this thing I feel like is kind of just another, maybe a good troll car. It's like over 1,500 horsepower, but it weighs like over 5,000 pounds. I don't Personally, I don't think you can really turn it into a track car. I'm happy to be proven wrong, but you would have to dump a lot of weight and probably even horsepower to make this thing be able to go around a track confidently. If you can do that, more power to you, but I wouldn't even waste my time with this car. Now, next up is the Porsche. I would rate this a 4.5 out of 5. This car is phenomenal, but like I said, it is ever so slightly unpredictable in certain corners. I think it depends like what track, and it's one of those cars where like it comes down to those minute details, whether if it's gonna slide out or not. With that being said, if I got this car, literally I would just get the weight ballast upgrade, tires of course, and really stop there. Honestly, everything after that, I would just play in the settings. Play with the downforce, play with the weight balance, the braking, the brake bias. Literally, I would just play from there and just fine-tune the car to where it becomes confident in every corner. Once you do that, I honestly believe that this car is going to dominate. I didn't realize the clip was that short. Okay, moving on to the last one, the Hyundai. Honestly, I might be the odd one out here, but I would honestly rate this car a 5 out of 5. In terms of out of the box, I do want to clarify that because I feel like some people might forget that I'm merely talking about out of the box performance. This car's a 5 out of 5. It was so confidence inspiring. Like literally, this car felt perfect out of the box. Honestly, I have no complaints literally about this car. Like that's how perfect it was in my opinion. I can't think of anything to fix this car. Like you could literally buy it and just race it and it'll be fun. But I guess put more power, maybe a little bit more power. That's really all I could think of. But honestly, this car right out the box, I would say this is the best one. Hyundai first, Porsche second, SU7 last. But with all that being said, I hope to see y'all in the next video. Peace.